Put that together for the next comedian, Okemia Barnes.
Hello. I am Okemia, not to be confused with leukemia. I'm from Baltimore, and one of the things I hate about telling people I'm from Baltimore is they instantly say, like, The Wire. I'm like, no, fucktard, not The Wire. I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. It's a nice place. And then I think, we had our neighborhood wino and our neighborhood dope fiend, so maybe it was like The Wire. And the neighborhood dope fiend, he was a very interesting character. He lived in our basement. I called him Uncle. And I would come home from school with my friends, and I would hear him in the basement fumbling around, and I instantly be like, fuck, why is he here? Me and my friends, I would tell him, I'm like, look, if he comes up here, ignore him. You don't see him, don't look at him, just ignore. No, I got your back, got your back. And you'd hear him coming up the steps, just struggling. He would just stand and stare at us. And we're like, and then I see my friends, Talia and Venus, breaking the plan. They're looking like, what? And I'm like, oh shit, So I look, and I'm just done. He just got on a button-up shirt that's buttoned incorrectly, tucked into his fucking underwear. With basketball shorts on, and socks. You know the ones, the tube socks with the rings, pulled all the way up to his knees, and some fucking church shoes. What the hell? And my friend Venus, to this day, she's a fashionista critic. She would look at me like, whisper to me, is this nigga hot or cold? Like, is he going to go play basketball? Is he going to Bible study? What the fuck? I'm like, them bitches broke the plan. Don't talk to him. So he comes over at this point because he knows. I'm just like, oh, what do you want? Go back down the basement. Just leave us alone. He just starts nodding. Hey, y'all bitches need to act right. You need to. What dope fiends act like they caught the Matrix? You've never seen one fall. Never. So he's telling us how we should be, how we should act, how we should be nice kids. And then he tells us, go get these bags of weed to Goldberg and bring me back the money. Goldberg. The fuck? Bags of weed? Yeah, get these weeds. Get this weed. Bring me, give you $50. All right, look, this is what you do. This is what you do. What you do is go to the store, buy me a pack of Newports, cigarette lighter, and a few candy bars. My friend's like, what the fuck? Okay. My friends are like, no, we're not doing this, we're not doing this. Okay, we're gonna do it. We take his money, we go to the Goldberg, we make the exchange, we hit the store. We buying what we want. Pizza, candy. Like, my friends with me skipping down the street. Who the bitches now? Who the bitches now? That's my time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep your hands going for Quesadilla.
about the weirdest things always happen to me. I think it's maybe because I live in Hollywood. I don't know. But I was walking into my apartment and along the sidewalk, I almost smushed a leaf. But then I looked closer. It wasn't a leaf at all. It was a praying mantis. It was so beautiful. I'd never seen one before. It was like tall. He looked like leaves all stacked together and beautiful, bright green. And he was looking at me. And it was like amazing. And I think it's good luck to see a praying mantis. So I just felt like this is it. This is my life happening right now. And I was really moved by it. So I got up, I started to walk away, and I was like, is he okay there in the middle of the sidewalk? I mean, he's been a praying mantis his whole life. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But right then, this guy walks on the sidewalk with a shopping cart, and I go, oh, be careful! And he didn't look at me or see me. He ran right over the praying mantis and squished him right in front of my face. I was so upset. It was really traumatic, and I was really sad. Actually, I almost cried. But I was like, what does it mean? If it's good luck to see a praying mantis, is it terrible luck to see one murdered in front of you? So I immediately Googled it, and I couldn't find any information about a murdered praying mantis and luck. But I did find out a lot of information about praying mantises. They practice something called sexual cannibalism, which means they do it, and then after, the lady bites the guy's head off and eats him. So that's what they do. Anyways, I felt really, really bad for the guy, but even though he had a really bad day, it's just, I mean, as bad as his friend who got laid. This one died a virgin, so it's sad. I keep eating all my earthquake kits. I buy earthquake survival kits, and I have to keep replacing them. I think maybe part of the problem is when I'm surviving an earthquake, I like everything to be delicious. So I buy the kind of things that don't last 5 minutes in my house. I'll go to Trader Joe's and I'll get like chocolate covered almonds with sea salt because those aren't perishable. I'll get a bottle of wine. I don't get white because, I mean, after an earthquake, there's no guarantee you can keep that chilled, so I get red wine. Red wine is perfect for any major disaster. It's delicious at room temperature. I have all these great snacks. I make sure all the ingredients are vegan and gluten-free because after a big earthquake happens, I don't want to give up on all my dietary values. So it'll be like post-apocalyptic LA, and I'll be wandering around with all of the buildings rubble around me. I'll be totally weak and emaciated and my hair falling out, and I'll be scavenging for food. I'll be like, excuse me, is that gluten-free? Oh no? You go ahead. I'm gonna be so skinny after the earthquake. I get told actually all the time that I should do voiceover. I guess. I don't know, maybe you're thinking that yourself. I get told it all the time. So after years of hearing this, I got referred by several people to go to this woman. She's like the go-to lady if you want to break into voiceover. So they're like, she costs $1 million. But you just see her, you take classes from her, and like she'll build your real sugar work. So I made an appointment. It took like 6 months to see her. I show up, I give her my dollars, which were a lot. And she goes, okay, so who told you should do voiceover? And I said, well, pretty much everyone I've met for the past 12 years of my life. And she goes, okay. The thing is, they're not a professional like me, so I don't know. You actually have a major speech impediment. I go, oh. She goes, you have a lisp. I was like, oh, I do? She goes, yes. You talk like this? I could never send you out to say Campbell soup because no one would know what you're saying. I was traumatized. I couldn't believe that's what I sound like. And she was like, well, it's weird that you're this age and you don't know you have this. There's a couple of reasons why this could have happened. A, usually it gets corrected as a child, so as an adult, usually adults don't have this problem. B, B, you have this kind of like Suzanne Summers thing going, so you talk and it like fits the whole package, so people who aren't pros can't detect this. C, it's kind of like when someone has a lazy eye. You don't point out to them that they have a lazy eye. That's rude. So, actually what you have is a handicap. It's been holding you back in life. So I just thought, oh my god, that's why I'm a waitress. And also, can I get a handicap parking pass? Anyways, I left there very traumatized to find out that I am handicapped. But I told my friends, she wanted me to go to a speech therapist. I told my friends about it. They were like, Casey, don't change your voice. That's why it's special. They're like, she's a bitch. And I was like, yeah, whatever. She just jealous. Anyways, I'm like,